Good day. Today is day 18 as we look at our season of Lent and meditate on what God is speaking to you and to me. Our devotion is taken from Luke chapter 17 verses 7 through 10, which is a very interesting incident about thankfulness. Now, my uncle was a nurse. In India, men and women are nurses. And so my uncle was a nurse. And one day he was called by a family to come and attend to somebody who was ill in that family. My uncle did not know that family well, and when he went to visit that family, he found out that they were from a royal bloodline or a royal lineage. And so the matron of the family was ill. My uncle was told, you cannot touch the person because she's royalty. And so he went in, he asked a lot of questions from a distance, suggested the best treatment, and then had to leave by backing out. He could not show his back to this person because the person is royal. And so once my uncle was done with his job, he left backing out, and that was that. Nothing else was spoken. He was escorted out. We live in a world today where the act of expressing thanks has become such an elaborate ritual. It's an expensive ritual as well. It's a formalized art, isn't it? Executives will call all the employees into an office space, and then thankfulness is lavished on the employees. And there's a gratitude ceremony and everything for selected employees. The executives themselves are given millions of dollars, as we read often in newspapers, for their wonderful service. And so these bonuses are given out to the people. Now, Jesus lays out the reality in a very stark and different way. Here's a servant, imagine, who's come after a long day's work, working in the muck, working in the sun, sweating and everything. And when he enters the mansion, when he or she enters the mansion, they're not going to be welcomed by the boss with a lemonade and a steak or shrimps. The servant will be told by the manager, by the owner, here's another chore. Go get this done. And the servant, whether they are tired or hungry, is expected to do that. In a politically correct ethos and world, some individuals have begun to desire and say, God, you owe me a thanks because of what I'm doing for your kingdom or because of what I'm doing in this world. God needs to participate in a thankfulness ritual with us. And Jesus sets the whole tone correctly. He says, hold on, let's get the situation correct here. Jesus, in the parable of the talents, quoted the master of the servants saying, well done, good and faithful servant. And then what does the owner do? The owner congratulated the servant and then for their effective stewardship, and then gave the individual greater responsibility. They commended them, but they also gave them more responsibility. And does the thank you have to do with our ego? Now, Jesus saw himself as a servant. For example, in John chapter 13, verse 6, Jesus says, I'm a servant. And Paul himself calls oneself as a servant in Romans chapter 1, verse 1. So when Jesus and Paul are calling themselves servants, what are we expecting from God for our labors? Are we not servants as well? Think about this today. God bless you.